From stately Bergland Manor, this is Kurt Bergland with a demonstration game of the Kickstarter that is now available for you. This is the Pine Tar Baseball Franchise All-Stars. We are continuing, after some delay, the best of 7 series between the all-time Toronto Blue Jays and the all-time New York Yankees. Available free for your download on Facebook at the Pine Tar Baseball page. The Kickstarter I will link on this video description so that you can access that, but you can also access it through the Pine Tar Baseball page on Facebook or at ttlbaseballgame.com. That's ttlbaseballgame.com for all of your Pine Tar Baseball purchases. Going to go through the lineups, the pitching matchups, but first, before we do that, let's talk about how we've got to where we are. We started this best of 7 series in the Bronx. Game 1 was a 4-2 victory for the New York Yankees over the all-time Toronto Blue Jays. The Yankees had a 3-run rally in the bottom of the 7th inning to take the lead off of Paul Quantrill and Dave Stieb. And Whitey Ford got credit for the victory, with Goose Gossage getting a 4-out save in Game 1. In Game 2, also in New York, Toronto came back to win. Roy Halladay scattered 5 hits over 7 innings of work. And then a pair of Blue Jays relievers, featured by Tom Henke, getting the save in the bottom of the 9th after allowing 1 run of his own and allowing the tying run to come to the plate in the form of I'm blocking. Robinson Cano was the tying run on the plate in the bottom of the 9th, but he struck out on a Henke fastball, and that was it for the Yankees' hopes in Game 2. The Blue Jays won 5-3, and Halladay was the winner. Henke got the save. The loser, Andy Pettitte. So now we go to Toronto, and the Yankees will be featuring CC Sabathia on the mound in this one against the Blue Jays' David Wells. Both are A-plus pitchers in their respective domains. You can see that Sabathia is A-plus on the road, and David Wells is A-plus at home. So it'll be an interesting contest between these two, at this point, rather portly gentlemen, portly left-handers. The batting orders for this game are as follows. Joe DiMaggio in center field for the Yankees, leading off. Lou Gehrig batting second, the DH, even though Wells, the lefty, is pitching. Babe Ruth in right field, batting third. Mickey Mantle in left field, batting fourth. Yogi Berra batting fifth and catching. Don Mattingly batting sixth at first base. Greg Nettles batting seventh at third base. Derek Jeter batting eighth at shortstop. And the one lineup change for the Yankees in this one, Willie Randolph batting ninth and playing second base. For the homestanding Toronto Blue Jays, batting order goes like this. Leading off is the DH, Jose Bautista. Batting second, third baseman, Josh Donaldson. Batting third, second baseman, Roberto Alomar. Batting fourth, right fielder, Jesse Barfield. Batting fifth, left fielder, Joe Carter. Batting sixth, first baseman, Carlos Delgado. Batting seventh, shortstop, Tony Fernandez. Batting eighth, center fielder, Devon White. And batting ninth, the catcher, Russell Martin. The managers, and we are using the manager cards for the Pine Tar set in this series. John Gibbons for the Blue Jays, Casey Stengel for the Yankees. All right, so stepping in to lead off for the Yankees, Joe DiMaggio, and on the mound to pitch to him, David Wells for the Blue Jays. Let's get this one started. See what happens. Game 3, series tied 1-1. The pitch to DiMaggio is to left field. That is Carter on the run. And Joe Carter makes the play for out number 1. And Lou Gehrig will step in. Interestingly enough, we've had some conflict between Mrs. Gehrig and Marilyn Monroe in the first 2 games. They are now sitting next to each other here in Toronto. So we'll see what happens there. Our cameras will keep an eye on them. Lou Gehrig lines a base hit up the middle. That's a single for Gehrig, and the Yankees have a base runner in the top of the first. Wells to the belt, checks Gehrig at first. The pitch home to Babe Ruth is ball 2. Ruth is ahead in the count, 2 balls and no strikes. And Babe hits one to center field. This is Devon White. And Devon White makes the play for out number 2. And Mickey Mantle steps in with Gehrig still on first. And 2 men out. Fly ball center field. This is White coming in a few steps, and he will make the play for the 3rd out in the top of the first. And the Yankees fail to score in their half of the first inning. Blue Jays coming to bat. Bautista standing in against CC Sabathia. The pitch is a called strike 3. Bautista strikes out to start off the game for the Blue Jays. Donaldson. Josh Donaldson stands in against Sabathia. Or as Doug Melvin would say, Sabathia. I don't know, Doug. Come on. Biggest trade in Brewer history, and you're mispronouncing the guy's name. What? Okay, so Sabathia to Donaldson. Strikes out. 2nd strikeout for Sabathia. 2 outs in the bottom of the first. Robbie Alomar stands in. And the pitch to him is a ground ball to second. Willie Randolph is going to throw to Mattingly, and that will retire the Blue Jays in the bottom of the first. We go to the second with no score in Toronto. Yogi Berra stands in against David Wells. Yogi hits one high and deep. This one goes towards right field, toward the wall, and it's gone. Yogi Berra takes David Wells out of the ballpark for a 1-0 Yankee lead here in the top of the second. A leadoff dinger. Mattingly lines a base hit to right field. Mattingly's aboard. Wells needs to settle down and in a hurry. Greg Nettles steps in. And Nettles lofts one to center field. White is back to the warning track, but he's going to make the play for the 1st out in the top of the second. And Mattingly retreats to first. Jeter stands in against Wells. The pitch to Derek is a ground ball to short. Tony Fernandez fumbles it and takes the only out he can at first base as Mattingly moves up to second, and Willie Randolph steps in with 2 outs and Mattingly on second. Pitch to Willie, ground ball second, hammered to Alomar, who's going to flip to Delgado. And that retires the side, but the Yankees take a 1-0 lead in the top of the second. And my dog decides to expectorate all over the living room floor. Thank you, Gracie. Jesse Barfield stands in against Sabathia. Fly ball left field. This one's going to be Mantle, and he will take it for out number 1. Mickey's looking at that AstroTurf thinking, what? Joe Carter stands in. And Joe, ground ball, second base. That's Willie Randolph. Throw to Mattingly, and that's 2 down. Delgado against the lefty. Almost went with Olerud at first base, but decided to stick with Carlos. And fly ball left field. This one's for Mantle as well. And Mickey will take it for out number 3. We go to the top of the third with the score Yankees 1, Blue Jays 0 in Toronto. Keeping an eye on Marilyn Monroe and Mrs. Gehrig. So far, they are sharing some nachos. And that's going to get messy because Marilyn is still wearing her elbow-length gloves. And I'm not sure that's a good combo. But we'll see how that turns out later in the game. Mrs. Gehrig is in those nachos up to her elbows. So, we'll see. Jolton Joe stands in, unable to take control of that situation. The pitch to Joe is a fly ball to center field. That's going to be Devon White back a few steps, and he'll take it for out number 1. Lou Gehrig steps in and hits one on a line to White. Coming in, he's going to make the play for out number 2. And Babe Ruth with 2 outs and nobody on in the top of the third. Hits one to right. He skies it to right. Barfield back, but he's got room, and he will make the catch for the 3rd out in the 3rd inning. We go to the bottom of the third. It's still Yankees 1, Blue Jays 0. In the bottom of the third, it's the bottom third of the Blue Jays order. Appropriately enough, Fernandez, White, and Martin will be up this inning. And if anybody gets on, it'll be Jose Bautista looking for a bat flip. Fly ball left field, Mantle. And 7 up and 7 down for Sabathia. White. Devon White. We have an error check. That's going to be Randolph. And Willie boots it. Willie Randolph boots it for a 1-base error. And Devon White is safe at first. Checking arms now and seeing White's going to go. White is going to try it. There goes Devon White. And the throw down from Yogi is not in time. White steals second base. And the Blue Jays have a man in scoring position, Russell Martin, with 1 out. And Martin, ground ball short. Ground ball short. And Jeter will make the play to first base to Mattingly, and White has to hold. Bautista stands in now with White on second still, and 2 men out. The pitch from CC Sabathia is a line drive base hit. It's a base hit. DiMaggio charges. And White has to hold at third. Bautista singles, but White holds at third, and Donaldson will be up with men at the corners and 2 outs for Sabathia, his first jam of the ball game. White at third, Bautista at first. 2-ball, 2-strike count. The pitch to Donaldson is drilled into the gap in left center. That's going to get down, and it's going to hit the wall on a hop. Jolton Joe DiMaggio collects it. The nachos have spilled between Mrs. Garrick and Marilyn Monroe. Jolton Joe is up with it. He throws to Jeter. He hits the cutoff man. The throw coming home to get Bautista is not in time, and Donaldson drives home 2 with a 2-out double, and the Blue Jays take a 2-1 lead, and they're calling for napkins on the behind home plate. That nacho cheese sauce stains badly, and Marilyn Monroe, let's just say, her outfit has turned a peculiar shade of yellowish orange. All right, so with Donaldson on second, there's 2 outs in the bottom of the third. White has scored. Bautista has scored. It's 2-1 Blue Jays, and Alomar wants to drive in the third run of the game. And this one is a range check. It's a range check. Center field, that's DiMaggio. And it drops in for a hit. But DiMaggio was charging. Donaldson has to hold at third. Men at the corners again. A hit for Alomar. Alomar's at first. Donaldson's at third. And Barfield steps in against Sabathia, looking to get out of this thing. None of these runs are earned, but they do count. The pitch to Jesse is a strike 3 on a curveball, swinging. And that gets the Yankees finally out of this inning, but the Blue Jays score 2 on the Donaldson double and take a 2-1 lead in this one. We go to the top of the fourth. It'll be Mantle, Berra, and Mattingly, and this thing is on now. We are on. This game is real. They're scrapping, they're scraping, they're fighting for this crucial Game 3. Wells walks Mantle, and there's a man on first to lead off the inning. Berra homered in the second. Nobody's out. He is a double play target. But instead, Wells strikes him out on some gas. 1 down. Mantle still on first. Mattingly, that's ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes for Don Mattingly. He hits it high. He hits it way back there, and Elvis has left the building. That's a 2-run bomb for Don Mattingly. It's 3-2 Yankees. And just like that, the Yankees reclaim the lead. Mantle scores ahead of Mattingly on the homer. It's 3-2 New York. Nettles. Ground ball, second base. That's Alomar, who will throw to Delgado, and that's 2 down. Jeter against Wells. And Derek hits one in the air to left field. Joe Carter will take it. And that retires the Yankees in the fourth. However, the Yankees, thanks to a 2-run bomb by Don Mattingly, it's 3-2 Yankees in the bottom of the fourth. Sabathia still on. Carter, Delgado, and Fernandez for the Blue Jays. Fly ball right field. That's the Babe on AstroTurf. He will take it for out number 1. Carlos Delgado. Delgado swings and misses at a Sabathia breaking ball. That's 2 down in the bottom of the fourth. And Tony Fernandez. Tony, we've got an error check. I'm trying to drop the dice, but the thing is, I'm too fast to let that happen. Uh, 48 is the third baseman. That's Nettles. And Greg kicks it. Greg Nettles makes the error for the second Yankee error of the game. And Fernandez is on first base. Devon White stands in. The pitch to Devon is lined to the gap in right center. That's going to split DiMaggio and Ruth. Going to roll to the wall for White. Fernandez is coming. He is coming around third. DiMaggio hits Randolph with the relay. Willie turns and makes the throw home, and it's not in time. Another Yankee error turns into another Blue Jay run. A double by Devon White ties this one at 3. We are in the bottom of the fourth. 3-3 tie. This game 3 turning into a classic. Russell Martin with 2 outs. White still on second. Martin with a base hit. This one's down the line past Nettles. It's past Nettles in the corner. Mantle digs it out of there. He spins and throws it back in, but Russell Martin's on second with a double. Russell Martin has driven in another run for the Blue Jays. They now have the lead. It's 4-3. This back and forth contest continues. Martin on second. 2 men are out. Blue Jays have a 4-3 lead. Jose Bautista stands in. He does not like to be pitched high and tight. And there it goes. There it goes. Bat flip. Bat flip. Bat flip. Elvis has left the building. Bautista with a 2-run bomb. And the Blue Jays now with a 6-3 lead. Sabathia, I don't care what you call him, put a fork in him. He's done, and Casey is coming to the mound to make a pitching change with 2 outs in the bottom of the fourth. All of these runs are unearned. Sabathia has allowed 6 runs in this ball game. 0 are earned. All right, so that's it for CC. The new pitcher for the Yankees. The new pitcher for the Yankees is going to be... They're going back to Gossage. They're bringing in Gossage in the 4th inning. They got to put the fire out. They got to get out of this inning. Gossage to face Donaldson. Donaldson's 1 for 2 with a huge 2-run scoring double in the 3rd. Four runs are in. It's a 6-3 Blue Jay lead off of Sabathia. There it goes for Donaldson. Way back off the goose. It's gone. Elvis has left the building. It's 7-3 Blue Jays. 7-3. Gossage taken deep. Blue Jays fans going nuts. Alomar standing in. Can Gossage get them out of this inning? The answer to that's yes, he can. He just blew one by Alomar. Strike 3 swinging. But the Blue Jays put up a 5 spot in the bottom of the 4th and take a commanding, if not, defining 7-3 lead. I have a feeling the Yankees are yet to be heard from again in this one. We go to the top of the 5th. It's 7-3 Blue Jays. It'll be Randolph, DiMaggio, and Gehrig. The pitch from Wells to Randolph is a strike 3 swinging on the Wells breaking ball. That is the second strikeout today for Wells. DiMaggio stands in. And DiMaggio hits a ground ball to Alomar, who's going to throw to Delgado for the second out of the inning. And Mrs. Gehrig glares at Marilyn Monroe as Mrs. Gehrig's husband steps in, Lou Gehrig, facing Wells. 1 for 2 today. And this one's in the air to left. And it's going to be taken by Joe Carter, and the glare is returned now by Marilyn Monroe to Mrs. Gehrig. So we got some bad blood going behind home plate. And there's some sweets out in center field. And a word to the wise about the sweets in Toronto. If you're going to do something you don't want other people seeing, it'd be a good idea to turn off the rest of the lights in your suite because everyone can see in. Okay? I'm talking about you, sir. All right. Bottom of the fifth, Barfield, Carter, Delgado to face Gossage. Pitch to Goose. Fly ball right field. Babe Ruth still on carpet. Takes it for out number 1. Joe Carter stands in. And Joe strikes out on Gossage Heat, and Delgado stands in with 2 outs. And this one is a comebacker for Gossage. He gloves it and is going to flip to Mattingly for out number 3. We go to the 6th. Wells is still on. The Blue Jays still carry a 7-3 lead. It'll be Ruth, Mantle, and Berra, the heart of the order for the Yankees. The pitch to the Babe is skied to right. Barfield towards the right field line will take it for out number 1. Mantle. The Mick. Strikes out swinging. That's Wells' 3rd strikeout, and Yogi Berra, who hit a solo homer in the 2nd. Yankees don't have a lot of spring in their step at this point. Berra hits a ground ball to 2nd. That's Alomar, and he throws to Delgado for out number 3. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Toronto 7, New York 3. Fernandez 0 for 2 today, but scored a run after reaching on a Nettles error. Tony strikes out on Gossage Heat. That's 1 down. Devon White. And Devon strikes out on Gossage Heat. That's out number 2. Russell Martin. And here comes Casey. Russell Martin's coming up. He is 1 for 2 with a run-scoring double. He also scored a run in the 4th inning, and Dave Righetti is coming on to face Martin. Righetti, the left-handed closer and starting pitcher for the Yankees at various times in his career, will face Martin with 2 outs and nobody on. And Martin hits a fly ball to right off Righetti. Babe Ruth coming in a few steps will take it, and that retires the Blue Jays. But they carry a 7-3 lead going into the top of the 7th. Wells still on the mound. It's Mattingly, Nettles, and Jeter in the top of the 7th. Starting to get a little bit on the late side. Ground ball shortstop. Fernandez is going to flip it and gets Mattingly for out number 1. Nettles is 0 for 2. Greg swings and drives a base hit to left. Nettles goes the other way off the left-hander Wells. The Yankees have a base runner in the 7th. Jeter stands in. He's 0 for 2. There's 1 man out. Nettles on first. The pitch to Derek Jeter is ball 2. Ball 2. And this time, A strikeout swinging for Jeter. That's 2 down in the 7th. 4 strikeouts for Wells. And Willie Randolph with 2 outs and 1 man on. Looking to get on any way he can off of Wells. And Willie hits a line drive to center. And Devon White is going to make the play. That's 3 outs in the top of the 7th. We're going to stretch. It is Toronto 7, New York 3 in the bottom of the 7th here in Toronto. And the top of the order for the Yankees, for the Blue Jays, Bautista, Donaldson, and Alomar against the left-hander Dave Righetti. Ground ball second base, Randolph on a hop. And Bautista is retired. Donaldson, big day. 2 for 3, 3 ribbies, a double, and a homer. Donaldson with a base hit up the middle. He's a triple shy of the cycle. The Blue Jays have a man on, and the Yankees have action in their bullpen. Alomar stands in. Donaldson at first, 1 man out. Alomar hits a ground ball to Mattingly. Yes, it's to Mattingly. And he will take it to first base himself. Donaldson moves up to second. Jesse Barfield is on, and they're going to let Righetti pitch to him. Jesse's 0 for 3 today with a strikeout. Donaldson's on second base in scoring position with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th. Skied to right. Ruth under it. Pounds his glove or whatever is passing for it, and he makes the catch in the bottom of the 7th to end the inning. We go to the 8th. The Blue Jays are leading this one 7-3, and that's going to be all for David Wells. Jason Fraser will be the new pitcher for Toronto. He's going to try and do the 8th. He is a B. He will face the top of the Yankee order, DiMaggio, Gehrig, and Ruth. Jolton Joe. Ball 4. Fraser walks him. Dwayne Ward is throwing quickly in the Toronto bullpen. Lou Gehrig. And Lou lines a base hit. That one falls in front of Barfield. DiMaggio will take third on the single. It's first and third for Babe Ruth. Nice moment between Marilyn Monroe and Mrs. Gehrig. They are hugging now in the boxes behind home plate. Although I'm noticing that Mrs. Gehrig is avoiding the nacho stain that's really disfiguring the front of Marilyn's outfit. So the hugs are warm, but there's still a little something there. All right, men at the corners, DiMaggio on third, Gehrig on first, Ruth at the plate. Jason Fraser is on the mound, looking for a double play ball from the Sultan of SWAT. Ground ball, Roberto Alomar. Fernandez for 1 to Delgado for 2, and he got what he wanted. Ruth hits into a double play. The Yankees plate their 4th run, but the Blue Jays will gladly take it as Mantle stands in now with nobody on and 2 men out. And Mickey draws a walk. This is not a flawless inning for Fraser. Yogi Berra stands in. 1 for 3 today with a solo homer in the 2nd. Yogi hits one to right, but Barfield's going to come in, and he's going to make the catch. Fraser gets an ugly eighth inning over with. We go to the bottom of the eighth, and it's the Blue Jays leading by a score of 7-4 here in Toronto. We have a new Yankee pitcher. It's going to be Sparky Lyle on the mound for the Yankees to face Joe Carter, Carlos Delgado, and Tony Fernandez in the bottom of the eighth. Hankey is warming for the Blue Jays in their bullpen. Carter hits a comebacker to Sparky, who gloves it and is going to throw to Mattingly for out number 1. Delgado stands in. The lefty is 0 for 3 today. And not anymore. Delgado singles up the middle, and he's 1 for 4. Sparky upset with himself over allowing that hit. It is the bottom of the eighth, and Fernandez is 0 for 3 with a run scored and a whiff. And Tony hits a ground ball to Mattingly. Mattingly to Jeter. Jeter back to Sparky Lyle covering first, and that is an inning-ending double play. We go to the ninth with the Blue Jays leading by a score of 7-4. On to pitch is the franchise leader closer for the Blue Jays, at least as I've selected him, Tom Henke, on to try and get his second save of the series. It'll be Mattingly, Nettles, and Jeter for the Yankees. Mattingly's 2 for 3. He hit a 2-run homer in the fourth. He's just looking to get something started. Yankees trail by 3, and he got something started. That one's ripped down the right field line past Delgado. Into the corner. Barfield turns and gets it back in, but Mattingly's on second with a double. The Yankees are not going quietly here in the top of the ninth. Nettles is 1 for 3. Mattingly's on second. The pitch to Greg. Line drive, base hit. Henke having trouble again. Mattingly will stop at third, and the Yankees have men at the corners for Jeter. Derek Jeter is the tying run at the plate. Infield is back. They want a double play from the bat of Derek Jeter. Jeter's 0 for 3 with a strikeout. The pitch from Henke. Line drive, base hit. That's going to score Mattingly. Nettles stops at second. And Jeter is on first with a single. Willie Randolph is due. He will not bat. Yankees going to check their bench for what they got here. Charlie Keller is going to bat for Randolph. Left-handed pinch hitter, going to take on Henke. Nettles on second. Jeter is the tying run on first. The score is 7-5, and there's nobody out in the top of the ninth. Keller stands in against Henke. The pitch home. Ground ball, Alomar. Fernandez for 1. Delgado for 2. Another double play for the Blue Jays. And there's now 2 outs in the ninth. Henke was in a world of trouble, and he might get out of this thing. Joe DiMaggio has just been blown a kiss by Marilyn Monroe. He digs in against Henke. He is the tying run at the plate. The score is 7-5. 2 outs, top of the ninth in Toronto. DiMaggio with a chance to tie the ball game against fireballing closer for the Blue Jays, Tom Henke. And Greg Nettles is on third base. DiMaggio, the potential tying run. 2 men out. This could be the ball game. Hankey to DiMaggio, the pitch, and we got a rare play. We have a rare play. A Pine Tar Baseball rare play. And it's just ball 2. It's ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes on Joltin' Joe DiMaggio. Nettles takes a very short lead off third. It's up to Joltin' Joe. Marilyn's trying to cover the nacho stain on her outfit as she stands to cheer with the other Yankee fans. The pitch to DiMaggio. Struck him out on some gas. That is the ball game. Wow. 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 Right down to the wire in Game 3 of this World Series between the franchise All-Star Blue Jays and the franchise All-Star New York Yankees. Let's do the line score for the victorious Toronto Blue Jays. 7 runs on 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9 hits. And they committed no errors. For the Yankees, 5 runs on 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 hits. And they committed 2 deadly errors. 2 deadly errors. The Blue Jays scored 7 runs in the ball game. Every single run was unearned. The winning pitcher, David Wells, who is 1-0 in this series, and the losing pitcher is CC Sabathia, 0-1. The save goes to Tom Henke, who, just as he was in Game 2, not flawless, but good enough to get the game done, get the job done. He allowed 1 run on 3 hits in a shaky top of the 9th inning, but does earn the save. These are Pine Tar Baseball franchise all-star cards. These are the heroes of these franchises, the people that you know these franchises are all about. Great set. Kickstarter is now live to purchase these cards. Check out the Facebook page. I will also put a link to the Kickstarter on the YouTube description of this video. And you can also go to ttlbaseballgame.com to get all of your Pine Tar Baseball game supplies, card sets, and find out more about the game. Thank you for joining me. My name's Kurt Berglund. Please click like and subscribe to my channel. I hope you enjoyed the broadcast. Game 4 coming up very soon. The Blue Jays now lead the series 2-1. Thank you again. So long, everybody.